Hey there, I'm meteorologist Allison Rogers here with another update on that snow that continues to just pour down on all of greater Cincinnati. Right now, seems like northern Kentucky is seeing a decent amount of heavy snowfall. We've actually seen several different areas throughout northern Kentucky and then the entire state of Kentucky, especially over toward Louisville, snow covered. Several different accidents over toward the Louisville metro area. And I'm keeping a really close eye on all of that because it's kind of headed in our direction. Still going to see some heavier bands of snow setting up throughout greater Cincinnati in general, but seeing some of that heavier snow moving in throughout the northern Kentucky area now. In fact, I've seen some cameras that are starting to show some snow cover throughout portions of I-71-75. So quick radar tour here. Still seeing that snow coming down throughout much of the Cincinnati metro. Looking at some of the cameras over toward downtown as well. That snow is just pouring down. Almost makes it look like we're inside of a snow globe, but those snow covered roads are starting to happen throughout downtown. We also have some snow coming down for areas of Blue Ash right now as well. This is looking at the 71-75 split here. Notice how snow covered these roads are starting to get, and especially those exit ramps, those that are traveled a lot less frequently, are starting to become very snow covered here. Thankfully, all these cars seem to have their headlights on, but we are seeing that window really starting to narrow for us here throughout greater Cincinnati of when we can get out and travel while roads are still manageable, because I do think roads are starting to get a little bit worse as we head throughout the rest of this afternoon, and expecting to only get worse into the evening as well. Looking up towards 75, you can see that they have done a really good job of making sure some of those roads are remaining nice and plowed, but this snow is going to start to come down so heavy that it's likely going to just not really matter how plowed these roads are, because that snow is going to come down at such a heavy rate that we wind up seeing some snow cover out there on a lot of our highways and roadways. This is looking over toward the bridge heading into Kentucky there, the Brent Spence, and then we have 71 a little bit closer to Rookwood and then other areas of I-75 there. Now, as we go throughout the rest of greater Cincinnati here on radar, you can see a lot of that snow still coming down for the metro, Blue Ash, Madeira, Mariemont, all seeing a decent little clip of some snow coming down right now. This is also impacting areas further to the north and south. So northern Kentucky, I do think, especially along and south of the 71-75 split, even though we've got this area of some drier air starting to try to work its way in, I do still think in the next 30 minutes or so, we very well could see some additional bands of heavier snow throughout this area here, putting down some decent little totals, especially there along I-71. I was looking at some cameras over in Gallatin County not too long ago and seeing some of those roads, especially bridges and overpasses, just covered in snowfall. And that's one thing you'll definitely want to keep in mind. Of course, bridges and overpasses are more vulnerable to the snow and becoming snow covered because they're exposed on all sides of that cold air. Now into southeastern Indiana, we have some snow for areas around Sparta, Milan, actually looking like we have a decent little snow coming down for areas of Ohio County and then southern Dearborn County as well. This is on a 3-hour loop here, so this is showing you, I mean, it's been snowing pretty decently for the last 3 hours since about 11 o'clock today. And we'll still see several more hours of snow moving into the area. This is all before we start to see a switch over to more of a sleet and a wintry mix. Now, areas into the AA highway and then southwestern Ohio closer to Adams County and Brown County, still seeing some snow coming down there. We have some decent heavy snowfall for some of these areas as well. Looking over toward Louisville, heavy snow still coming down for portions of the metro and will continue to do so for a little bit, but watching closely as we start to see that line of the sleet and freezing rain nudging its way further and further to the north as this warmer air, indicated by this warm front right here, makes its way further to the north. Now, I do think we still have several more hours before that happens. It could even be after dark before we see that switch over to more of a sleet or freezing rain and that wintry mix. Either way, once that does happen, that's going to have some effects on things. That is going to lead to some icy accumulations for some areas of northern Kentucky especially, but then it also is going to lead to our snow that we have had fall so far today kind of get more compacted and starting to go down. Now, as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon, again, here comes that line of some of the wintry mix. It could happen as soon as about 5 or 6 o'clock for some of our far southern communities. One thing that I do think is that it does start to transition first for our southern zones. That's why it's likely that they wind up seeing down in Kentucky closer to I-64. It's likely that we wind up seeing a little bit closer to about 1/4 of an inch of ice down there. Meanwhile, still seeing some snow coming down for areas closer to I-70. So all that said, whoever winds up getting the sleet is going to see some of their snowfall totals taking a little bit of a hit. Areas that don't wind up seeing any sort of sleet, you have a better chance of seeing some higher snow totals. Either way, here's the thing, is the impacts from this storm are going to be felt pretty heavily from the snow, the sleet, and then the freezing rain or ice potential. We are going to see travel impacts. We've already started to see that. I expect those conditions to linger well into tonight, throughout the day tomorrow. Then we also could have some spotty outages for areas well south of the 71-75 split. I do think an isolated case for some power outages for areas in southern Owen County certainly is a possibility, especially Robertson County, southern Mason County as well. That is something that you could be looking at. Through the day tomorrow, we will see additional snow coming down. It is going to be on the lighter side likely tomorrow, so that's some good news there. But still, a couple of extra inches of snowfall. That's coming in with some winds gusting closer to 30 miles per hour. I think tonight those winds really do start to pick up, but they'll be at their strongest through the day tomorrow. And actually, I was looking at some of the current conditions over at CVG, looking like visibility there has been down to a half mile for a while now that the snow is starting to come down. So not only are you dealing with active snow coming down, slick spots on roadways, some snow-covered roads, but also visibility is taking a hit as well. Throughout the rest of today, we'll still see some heavier snow rolling through here. Roads, if they're not already, will continue to get covered. Then tonight, we'll start to see that switch over to more of a wintry mix. The ice, the sleet, that's all a possibility. Again, this is really showing you who is more likely to see some higher ice totals and also some lower snowfall totals. Areas in northern Kentucky could see closer to 2 to 4 inches of snowfall throughout the duration of this event. So this includes today, tonight, and through the day tomorrow. But once we see that wintry mix kind of working its way in, that's when I think you'll start to see some melt with some of the snow that's already come down. 5 to 8 inches for areas along and north of the Ohio River. Areas that see just snow could pick up closer to 8 or more inches of snowfall throughout tonight and throughout the day tomorrow as well. So either way, we're looking at big impacts. Today's a weather alert day. Tomorrow's a weather alert day. We are looking at these big impacts sticking around with us for the rest of the day. So at this point, that window to get outside, get things done, it is shut. If you can, be at home, hang out, get cozy, and wait for the snow to start to wrap up here. But we will continue to keep you updated throughout the duration of the winter storm and throughout the rest of the day. But for now, you can always stay up to date with us on WLWT.com or through our mobile app, WLWT.